Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It's time for Chapter 5 in our lovely book, The Science of Being Well, out of our book, Science of Being series by Wallace D. Wattles. This book was written over 100 years ago. Regardless of the age, the mind that wrote it will not leave. Okay, so, I had a really long week today. We helped so many people. Work has been great. Because as a trainer, you're not only training them in the body, but we're also mental training. Okay? Don't forget, we're all multidimensional beings, spiritual beings, inhabiting this body, and we have a mind. And it is our mind that we use to create in the external world. So let's get started with Chapter 5, in the chapter of faith. The principle of health is moved by faith. Nothing else can call it into action. And only faith can enable you to relate yourself to health, and sever your relation with disease in your thoughts. Thoughts. Thought is what creates. Thought is a product of spirit. Thought produces mind. You will continue to think of disease unless you have faith in health. If you do not have faith, you will doubt. If you doubt, you will fear, and if you fear, you will relate yourself in mind to that which you fear. If you fear disease, you will think of yourself in connection with disease, and that will produce within yourself the form and motions of disease. Just as original substance creates from itself the forms of its thoughts, so your mind-body, which is original substance, takes the form and motion of whatever you think about. If you fear disease, dread disease, have doubts about your safety from disease, or if you even contemplate disease, you will connect yourself with it and create its forms and motions within yourself. Let me enlarge somewhat upon this point. The potency or creative power of a thought is given to it by the faith that it is in. Thoughts which contain no faith create no forms. The formless substance which knows all truth and therefore thinks only truth has perfect faith in every thought, because it thinks only truth, and so all of its thoughts create. But if you will imagine a thought in formless substance in which there is no faith, you will see that such a thought could not cause a substance to move or take form. Keep in mind the fact that only those thoughts which are conceived in faith have creative energy. And what again is this faith? Like Paul said, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. A substance, a real, tangible substance. Keep in mind the fact that only those thoughts which are conceived in faith have creative energy. Only those thoughts which have faith, which with them are able to change, function, or to quicken the principle of health into activity. Now remember the placebo effect that we were talking about at the beginning of this book. People who believe that they're going to be healed actually do get healed. And the people that don't believe that they're going to be healed do not get healed. Okay, you must have faith so that the principle of health within you can actually be put into motion. If you do not have faith in health, you will certainly have faith in disease. If you do not have faith in health, it will do you no good to think about health, for your thoughts will have no potency and will cause no change for the better in your conditions. If you do not have faith in health, I repeat, you will have faith in disease. It is one or the other. And if, under such conditions, you think about health for 10 hours a day and think about disease for only a few minutes, the disease thought will control your conditions because it will have the potency of faith, while the health thought will not. Your mind-body will take on the form and motions of disease and retain them, because your health thought will not have sufficient dynamic force to change form or motion. In order to practice the science of being well, you must have complete faith in health. Faith begins in belief, and we now come to the question, what must you believe in order to have faith in health? You must believe that there is more health power than disease power in both yourself and your environment. And you cannot help believing this if you consider the facts. These are the facts. There is a thinking substance from which all things are made, and by which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. The thought of a form in this substance produces the form. The thought of a motion institutes the motion. In relation to the human being, the thoughts of original substance are always of perfect health and perfect functioning. This substance, within and without a human being, always exerts its power towards health. Now, original substance, energy, thinking substance, universal consciousness. Okay, we are all living in this fathomless ocean of universal consciousness, intelligence, and we are all an embodiment of this intelligence. Are you not conscious of being? Okay, whatever thoughts you think, you embody, and whatever thoughts you embody, you begin to produce and externalize in your outer world. That is what he means by a form in this substance produces the form, and you are that substance. So whatever form of thought you have within your own mind, you take on that form and act it out in the external world. Man is a thinking center, capable of original thought. He has a mind-body of original substance permeating a physical body, and the functioning of his physical body is determined by the faith of his mind-body. If man thinks with faith of the functioning of health, he will cause his internal functions to be performed in a healthy manner, provided that he performs the external functions in a corresponding manner. But if man thinks with faith of disease or of the power of disease, he will cause his internal functioning to be the functioning of disease. The original intelligent substance is in man, moving towards health, and it is pressing upon him from every side. Man lives, moves, and has his being in a limitless ocean of health power, and he uses his power according to his faith. If he appropriates it and applies it to himself, it is all his, and if he unifies himself with it by unquestioning faith, he cannot fail to attain health, for the power of this substance is all the power there is. A belief in the above statements is a foundation for faith in health. If you believe them, you believe that health is a natural state of humanity, and that a human being lives in the midst of a universal health, that all the power of nature makes for health, and that health is possible to all, and can surely be attained by all. You will believe that the power of health in the universe is 10,000 times greater than that of disease. In fact, that disease has no power whatever, being only the result of perverted thought and faith. And what is disease? Simply the absence of health. And if you believe that health is possible to you, and that it may surely be attained by you, and that you know exactly what to do in order to attain it, you will have faith in health. You will have this faith and knowledge if you read this book through with care and determine to believe in and practice its teachings. It is not merely the possession of faith, but the personal application of faith which works healing. It must be an act of faith. Okay, you have to eat that banana instead of those chips. Go for that apple instead of that banana bread. Well, I guess banana bread's not too bad. Okay, as long as it's not a cake. You must claim health in the beginning and form a conception of health, and as far as you may be, as of yourself as a perfectly healthy person. And then, by faith, you must claim that you are realizing this conception. It must be a belief that it is happening here and now, that you are moving into this here and now. Do not assert with faith that you are going to get well. Assert with faith that you are well. Remember, all there is here and now. Here and now is the only time there is, so it must be happening now. It can't happen in the future, and it cannot happen in the past. It can only happen now. Having faith in health and applying it to yourself means having faith that you are healthy. And the first step in this is to claim that this is true. Mentally take the attitude of being well, and do not say anything or do anything which contradicts this attitude. Never speak a word or assume a physical attitude which does not harmonize with the claim. I am perfectly well. I am perfectly well. When you walk, go with a brisk step, and with your chest thrown out and your head held high. Watch that at all times, and your physical actions and attitudes are those of a healthy person. When you find that you have relapsed into an attitude of weakness or disease, change instantly, straighten up, and think of health and power. Refuse to consider yourself as other than a perfectly healthy person. One great aid, perhaps the greatest aid, in applying your faith you will find in the exercise of gratitude. Whenever you think of yourself or of your advancing condition, give thanks to the great intelligent substance for the perfect health you are enjoying. Remember that, as Swedenborg taught, there is a continual inflow of life from the Supreme, which is received by all created things according to their forms, and by every person according to his faith. Health from God is continually being urged upon you, and when you think of this, lift up your mind reverently to Him, and give thanks that you have been led to the truth and into perfect health of mind and body. Be all the time in a grateful frame of mind, and let gratitude be evident in your speech. Gratitude will help you to own and control your own field of thought. Whenever the thought of disease is presented to you, instantly claim health, and thank God for the perfect health you have. Do this so that there shall be no room in your mind for a thought of ill. Now remember your thought forms. Any ill thoughts, you take on that form. Must be health, must stay health. Every thought connected in any way with ill health is unwelcome, and you can close the door of your mind in its face by asserting that you are well, and by reverently thanking God that it is so. Soon the old thoughts will return no more. Gratitude has a twofold effect. It strengthens your own faith, and it brings you into close and harmonious relations with the Supreme. You believe that there is one intelligent substance from which all life and all power come. You believe that you receive your own life from the substance, and you relate yourself closely to it by feeling continuous gratitude. It is easy to see that the more closely you relate yourself to the source of life, the more readily you may receive life from it. And it is easy also to see that your relation to it is a matter of mental attitude. We cannot come into physical relationship with God, for God is mind stuff, and we are also mind stuff. Our relation with Him must therefore be a mind relation. It is plain, then, that a person who feels deep and hearty gratitude will live in closer touch with Him than the person who never looks up to God in thankfulness. The ungrateful or unthankful mind really denies that it receives at all, and so cuts its connection with the Supreme. The grateful mind is always looking towards the Supreme, is always open to receive from it, and it will constantly receive from it. The principle of health in man receives its vital power from the principle of life in the universe. The man relates himself to the principle of life by faith in health, and by gratitude for the health he receives. Man may cultivate both faith and gratitude by the proper use of his will. Now, what is the use of the will? To hold steadily the thoughts of health, so that we remain in connection with the health of God, the Supreme, because God is all health. So no one can live a full and happy life unless their health is in line. Now, as the end of chapter 5 on faith, and if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. And yeah, if you liked it, go ahead and share it and subscribe. I will see you guys on the other side of the galaxy. Monday was my birthday, the beginning of my long week. We worked Monday through Friday, 13 full shifts. I was there from 7:30 to 9, serving our clients, changing lives, helping people to learn and obtain not only the health that they want, their goals that they want, but also to educate them on the importance of their health. Health is a very vital part of your being. Remember, our body is nothing but chemicals, okay? And each and every single cell literally takes up and distributes within itself every single thing that you put into your body. Okay, so we want to make sure that at least 99, we want to get to that point where almost at least 99% of what we're putting into our body is good and healthy for us, because like I said, that is the only way that we would be able to fully enjoy the presence of health within our own lives. Okay, so with that being said, thank you. I turned 22. Okay, you're never too young to grow. You're never too old to grow. You're never too anything to do what you want to do. Okay, so with that being said, I'll see you guys on the other side of the galaxy.